This is the top 10 Chelsea players of all time. Alright, so wasting no time, at number 10, I have Michael Essien. Now, an honourable mention would be Thiago Silva, fantastic player, one of the best defenders of all time, arguably, obviously. Unfortunately, he's not spent a lot of time in the club and he's not won too much, just a Champions League, which is a lot. But, now I'm not going to talk too much on Michael Essien, great player, but let's be honest, he is replaceable. However, with the time he spent at the club, he's done great things. Thank you for your service. You're number 10. Now, moving on at number 9. Not a lot of people rate this player, but it's Zola. I've heard great things of him. I've heard that he was one of the most magical players in the world in his era. Now, look, he didn't really win much with Chelsea Football Club, but he was here before the Abramovich era. He was here in the dustbins when we weren't a big club, let's be honest. And he was carrying us to top 6 places for about 6 years in a row or something incredible. You could argue that we wouldn't have been bought if he didn't ball out for us. So thank you, Zola. Was a player you were. And a lot of people still consider him for the top 3 right wingers in Premier League history. Now at number 8, I'm sliding in Makelele. Makelele has a huge influence on football. The man single-handedly created the destroyer role at CDM. Fantastic. An incredible achievement, let's be honest. But look, in terms of ability and a few other things, he has no chance with the next 7 players. These 7 players are in a league of their own, so prepare yourself. At number 7, I have N'Golo Kante. I'm going to be honest, this guy had the potential to be top 5 arguably. However, he left a bit too early for me, and the people ahead of him are insane in their own rights. But look, he was our best player in our Champions League run. People to this day are considering him as the best Premier League CDM of all time. Scrap that, he is the best Premier League CDM of all time. Now coming up at number 6, we have Ashley Cole. Oh my god, what a player. The best Premier League left back of all time without a doubt. In fact, scrap that, the best Premier League fullback of all time. There is no debate and there's no one to challenge him, let's be honest. In a league of his own, he got praised by the likes of Ronaldo and Messi. What a player. Just thank you for coming to Chelsea. Unfortunately, I couldn't have you at number 5 because at number 5, we have Petr Cech, who is arguably the best goalkeeper of all time. Outside the Prem, he's arguably the best goalkeeper of all time. He's conceded the least amount in football history. An astonishing feat from an astonishing player. Without a doubt, who's the best Premier League goalkeeper? I'll tell you that for a fact. I'm hearing no debates. He is. Now at number 4, I have Eden Hazard. Now look, I'll be honest. Petr Cech deserves to be above Hazard in the top 10 Chelsea players of all time. But, man, Hazard, ability-wise, he's probably the best on this list. Arguably, at least top 3. So, there's not much to say. You know what? Maybe I'll put Petr Cech in at 4 and Hazard at 5. But Eden Hazard was a fantastic player, getting similarities to Messi. And just, what a player. You guys let me know where you would rank Hazard and Petr Cech. Would you put him at 4? Would you put him at 5? Or would you put him in a different entirely number? And now comes the big 3. The 3 most influential Chelsea players in our history. Now at number 3, I got John Terry. John Terry is the best Premier League centre-back of all time as it stands. And that man was our captain for many, many years, winning a lot of trophies along the way. I'm not going to talk too much about him. You all know how great he is. I know how great he is. So I'm going to go to number 2. Now, the top 2 is in between Didier Drogba and Frank Lampard. Now, I'm going to give you all 5 seconds to think about who is number 1 and who is number 2. Think about it, yeah? At number 2, I have Frank Lampard. Now look, for me, Frank Lampard has the potential to be 1. However, he's not really seen as the best Premier League midfielder of all time. If he was, he would be my number 1. But he isn't, unfortunately. But still, huge props to him. Definitely a top 3 Premier League midfielder of all time. Don't care. But look, number 1, yeah? Didier Drogba. Ooh. What a player. Now I'm going to keep it short and snappy. A huge factor of why he's number 1 for me, influence he's had on Chelsea is unprecedented. Now look, first and foremost, he's the greatest African player of all time, right? His influence on African football is huge, and that influence has brought many, many African fans to Chelsea Football Club. That sort of influence is on par with the Henry effect. When Henry was doing incredible at Arsenal, he brought in a lot of fans for Arsenal Football Club, right? A lot of ethnic minorities. But look, Drogba looked at that and said, you know what? I'll do you one better. The greatest African player. He's the backbone of our football club. Let's be honest. Him, Lampard, Terry, they're all the backbone. But for me, I'm putting him at the front. He's a top 5 Premier League striker of all time. He's got the second best Premier League season as a striker of all time, scoring 29 goals in 32 games. Now that is only second to Luis Suarez's campaign and Haaland's campaign recently. But as we all know, Drogba's goals were much more fantastic than Haaland's. Now guys, I'm going to leave it there. What do you guys think? What's your top 10? Drop them in the comments right now. I'll be sure to read over your comments. And now let's just have a moment of silence for Didier Drogba.